Do you want to know why most people fail to realize their dreams? It's pretty simple. It's because they don't start. They are always waiting. Well, what are they waiting for? They're waiting for the timing to be right, for money, for clarity, for permission, and for the confidence to start. But the thing is, it doesn't work that way. And in today's episode, I'm going to get really honest and real with you about the key ingredient in chasing your dreams. Start. And I'm going to call this the truth about motivation, fear, and the path that you are meant to pursue. I'm going to ask you a personal question. Do you have a dream inside of you that you haven't told anybody? I know that thought or idea or passion that keeps on nagging you. That's not there by accident. If you look around the world and observe different people, isn't it ironic that we're all made differently with different interests and passions and talents? So if you have a spark of an idea, something that won't go away, there is something that is meant to be explored in that. And most often, that involves our path in life, whether it is a hobby or whether it is a hobby that turns into a business. Either way, starting is the key ingredient in exploring those dreams that lurk deep within you. So, in today's episode, we're talking about exactly that. Because here's the thing, you don't have to be rich to be successful. You don't have to be smart to be successful. You don't have to be born with a silver spoon. And you most definitely don't need to know it all before you get going. So, why don't people start? I've listed a few of them: time, money, motivation, confidence, clarity. What else? I don't think I can. What is that idea about? Who am I to think that I can start a YouTube channel? I don't know enough. I'm dumb. I failed a test in high school. All those limiting beliefs pop up and they start to paralyze us. And you know what happens when that is what's coming up in our mind? Our brain starts to go into fight or flight mode. It paralyzes us with fear because the brain's job is designed to keep us safe, not happy, not rich, safe. And when you're like, oh, I want to be a YouTuber, your brain's going, Mayday. And then it starts popping out all those little excuses. You don't know enough. Who are you? You're 23. You're 83. Oh, today is not a good day. Oh, you don't really have the money. You don't have the smarts. Here's the thing, you're never going to feel like it because your brain is designed to keep you safe. It's going to pop up all those ideas, all those excuses. And really, that is the symptom of fear, doubt, uncertainty. What is fear? Like I said, that's your brain trying to keep you safe. What is doubt? Your brain saying, you can't do that. Like you don't have the skills or the talent. You really don't. So maybe you shouldn't do that. And fear is what comes out as the symptom. So if you're feeling any of those, that's natural. If you're doing something that you've never done before, then you're going to feel fear, doubt, and uncertainty. It is just par for the course. If you've already done it, you wouldn't feel that. Think of something you didn't know how to do many years ago, and then you went out and you learned figure skating, or you went skydiving. You were so filled with fear, doubt, uncertainty whether you could do it. Then you did it, and guess what? The uncertainty and doubt goes away. My saying is do hard things until they're not hard anymore. Do scary things until they're not scary anymore. Fear, doubt, uncertainty is there to protect you, but they're just emotions that your brain and body put out to signal you and keep you safe. So if you're feeling that, go, yes, brain, I get it. This is new for us. We don't know how to do this. Thank you for your concern. Get in the back seat. We are launching a YouTube channel, like it or not. So you're never going to really feel like it. And that's why people never achieve their dreams, because it is uncomfortable most of the time. And then it's comfortable. And then it's uncomfortable again because you're going after the next goal or the next level or the next skill. You need to embrace the hard as the path to your dreams. Think of it this way. If you want a 1% life, you got to do 1% things. And 1% things are hard. Otherwise, you would just go with the 98% of the masses to their job every day, known predictable. You're never going to feel like it, but if you want to chase your dreams, embrace the hard, embrace the 1% life, and most importantly, trust yourself that you'll figure it out. Number 2, a big one is, I don't know how to do it, right? Because when we learn a new skill, then it becomes automatic to us. It's conditioned and it's old hat. But like I said, if you're trying to do something new, your body and brain go, Mayday, I don't know how to do this. How are we going to do it? How do we scale this media company? How do you build a YouTube channel? How do you do all these things? And then very quickly, there's 100 million fears and concerns, and your body goes, whoa, okay, I don't have the answers. We need to pause and just not do this. You know what? Like next week will be a better time. We have an exam. It's busy this week. The secret is the path appears only after you move, and you will always figure it out. But that's the uncomfortable part. We want to see the next step, kind of like in school or with our family. They'll show us how, and then we do it. But here it's you do it and then you figure it out. So it's very uncomfortable and it's very backwards to the way we've learned all our lives. I like to use the road trip method, is what I call it. I don't think I've heard anybody else call it this. I love road trips, and I have learned through 17 years of building media companies that chasing your dreams is kind of like going on a big old long road trip. It's going to be great. It's going to be unexpected and everything in between. So let's say your dream is to launch a YouTube channel and you want to be the top YouTuber in this category. So you're going to automatically look out there, and that is such a big goal. Again, it overwhelms you, but you don't reach that tomorrow. You don't reach that in 3 months, maybe even a year. It probably takes you years, if you're lucky, a decade, if you're normal. Look at most YouTube channels out there or business owners. They've been at it a long time until big success reached them. Because as much as we see these big YouTubers with big numbers, that's towards the end of their journey. And by human nature, we always compare our start of our journey to somebody else's middle or near end. They're reaping the rewards of all the hard stuff, and you're just starting right where they started. The path only appears after you move. So let's use the road trip example. California is the destination, and that's your million subscriber YouTube channel. Now you're going to say, okay, I'm going to California. And you're like, well, Tracy, the path appears. It's clear. I put in the GPS. But does the path appear on your phone? Like every single, if you're in Manitoba, Canada, where I am, and you're going to California, did every one of those thousand upon thousands of miles or kilometers show up on your phone? The little phone like that? No. If you look at it, the next mile shows. And the lady kindly narrating or aggressively narrating the directions to you, she's telling you the next mile. And maybe if you're lucky, a couple miles ahead what's coming up. And if you do a little zoom in, you could probably see a little further, but not much further. And the funny thing, quite ironic, is it'll pop you back to right where you're at. Use that as a perfect analogy for chasing your dreams. Just know that it's going to take a long time. Honestly, it does. Nobody wants to admit that. We see the unicorn success or the people, like I said, well into their game and then think that's us tomorrow. That's the human nature, especially if you were ambitious and keen and a big dreamer. I've been accused of that and still am. I've been doing this for 17 years and I still always think it's going to be easier. I know, but I still always think and hope everything's easier than it is. But if you want 1% life, you need to pay the dues or else go to work and deal with that kind of hard. So the path appears only after you move. So, like I said, on the phone, you start moving, and then Siri is going to show you the next mile and the next mile and the next mile. Now, let's break that down to creating your YouTube channel. Day one, you're going to take out a pen and paper and write down every single thing that you could think of that you might need to do to be a successful YouTuber. And then put it in order of where you need to start and probably smaller things to help you get traction and then go from there. And it'll simply involve starting a Google account, creating your YouTube channel, putting your name, putting a little description, creating your social media platforms, creating a banner graphic, putting some posts on social media about the subject, so on, so on. So let's do the equivalent to your road trip. Your first mile is making the list. When you're driving on a road trip, your first mile is really getting comfortable, getting organized in your vehicle, just settling in, getting the hands on the wheel, you're getting going, you're getting traction. Same with starting a business. You're creating a list, kind of just getting that organized feeling, getting in it. And then you take the next step. Like I said, on the road trip analogy, you take the next mile. And then over here, once you figure this step out, you're like, okay, I set up social media. Now I have all these ugly blank header fields. I better go to Canva and create a graphic. Oh, and then they need a logo. I'm going to take a picture, a nice picture of my face, and put in that little round icon. So on, so on. If you try and think of being a 1 million person YouTube subscriber or a business owner, a chiropractic business owner, a sports player, if you're trying to think of the end result, you're going to overwhelm yourself and you're setting yourself up to fail. Think of it as a mile by mile road trip to California. And on that road trip, there's going to be fun things and then not so fun things. You're going to have a flat tire. Then you're going to discover this amazing amusement park, right? So build on that analogy. On your path to success, there's going to be good and bad, hard and easy, wins and losses, unexpected and expected. Building your dream is just like going on a big old long road trip, except for you can get to California probably quicker than you'll achieve your dreams. Let's just state that. You just need to realize and want success in your dreams more than you want your excuses, more than you want your comfort. So that was point 2. The path appears only after you move. If you're sitting here trying to think it all out, it's never going to happen. Here's a quick example. When I was starting my media company, it was a website, a news website for farmers. And we put these little square boxes for banner ads. That's what we did because we didn't know. Little did we realize we needed 4 of those little ones to make a standard banner for the industry. So here's the thing. I ended up calling GMC about advertising so they could advertise their trucks on our website. And she's like, well, you don't have the sizes. She's like, I need these sizes. Do you have them? I said, absolutely. I will figure that out and I'll get right back to you. Got on the phone with my website company and I said, I need these sizes. Can you help me out? He figured it out. I figured it out. I called her back. I made my first national sale. The path appears only after you move. And trust that you're going to be a person that's going to take the next step and you're always going to figure it out. Point 3. I've already went into this. You get the identity of a confident and successful person through action. Most people are waiting for motivation, confidence, the answers from that waiting position. But it doesn't happen that way. Just like that example I gave you of cold calling, which is hard enough, and then calling a big agency to say, you absolutely need to put GMC advertising on farmmarketer.com, my media company, so that your trucks are in front of farmers that drive trucks on a daily basis. I took the action, and through that, I figured it out. And guess what? Every time I went through that thought, belief, feeling, action, result circuit that I talked to you about, the reality creation, every time you go through that successfully, you then get the results of being confident. You get the results of, I've got this. You get the results of, this is coming together. You don't get that sitting here stewing, brainstorming, trying to make the perfect website, but avoiding the real work of being on video if you want to be a YouTuber, of talking to people if you want to coach. We get in our way. Making money and chasing our dreams are really not that hard. It's what happens between our two ears that psychs us out. Business, success, life, and making money is 80% psychology, 20% strategy. So if you want to be successful, you need to realize those three things I told you. You're never going to feel like it. It is just literally, entrepreneurship is showing up because you're committed to your dream. Point number 2, the path appears every single time after you move. Just like Siri, the GPS lady, she'll show you the next mile once you are done with this mile. Same with your business. You'll figure it out or a clue will come along. Point 3, you'll only get there through action. If you sat in your car in your yard, how's your dream to get to California going to work? Siri's not moving, your car's not moving, you're not figuring out the drive, right? You got to get in the game and move. That is point number 3. So I would say when you act, you build evidence that you're capable, right? Just like I said about calling that agency. When I did that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can do this. Oh my gosh, I sold GMC. It was my biggest account ever. Up until then, it was like mom and pop shops in my local area that didn't even have websites. I was ahead of my time. When you act, you build evidence that you are capable. When you stay still, you collect evidence that you're not. Side hustles are about business, are not about business strategy. They're really a personal transformation journey. It is going on that trip to California and going, wow, this is amazing. Oh, we got a flat. Oh, there's construction. Oh my goodness, look at that view. That is entrepreneurship. Simple as that. If you want to be a money boss, if you want to have dream money, build a life on your terms, you got to stop waiting for confidence. Confidence is a result from doing the hard things until they are no longer hard. That's a Tracy quotable. Transformation happens through showing up, repetition, consistency, the courageous little steps that I showed you throughout this video. Take the next mile, take the next step, do the next thing in your business. And sure enough, in a year from now, you're going to look up and you'll be like, I'm YouTubing. And then in 5 years, you'll be like, I'm doing it. And then in 7 years, whatever your time is, everybody has a different journey. All of a sudden, you look up one day and you're like, I'm a 1 million person subscriber YouTuber. Good thing I didn't quit. Show up despite your fear, doubt, uncertainty, because the thing is, the only thing standing between you and your dreams is you. And all those icky feelings about fear, doubt, uncertainty, worthiness, am I capable? Entrepreneurship is a you against you game, and it really is. It's a battle of the wits and a test of your strength. But here's the thing. If you are watching this channel, if you have a dream deep inside of you that you've never told anybody, that's a clue. Don't dismiss it. It's in you for a reason. I'm not saying quit your job and go over that. Just go after that full time. Boots on the ground, practical. Start chasing it. Start doing the next action. If you want to be the YouTuber, I give that example because I'm a YouTuber, I'm a business owner. Whatever the next step is on your list, just continue to take it. And step by step, you're going to get there. Good days lead to good weeks. Good weeks lead to good months. Good months lead to good years. Good years lead to decades and a good career. You can do this. It is you against you. Trust yourself to show up and take the next step. Just start. You got this. See you next week. Bye bye.